Hello, my beautiful narc free family. I wanted to have a discussion with you today about that smear campaign. Some of you are really frazzled by the smear campaign, and I've done a series of videos where I used HG Tudor's book, The Smear, and I will leave it right above here if you want to go and click on it on that little eye to get to that playlist so that you can see those videos where I use his book to help you better understand it. But if you are being smeared by the narcissist, it is a way for them to take the spotlight off of them and put it onto you so that no one will even listen to you by the time you go to tell the truth, because the narcissist is so charming with the way that they've smeared you. But there are some things that you need to understand where the smear campaign is advantageous to you. First of all, it kind of, separates who your real friends are, because a true friend is not going to believe some outlandish story that someone's telling you, unless, of course, that friend maybe wanted to believe that and maybe was hating on you themselves all along, or they're just very naive. It could be one of those things, or they're a flying monkey. They're on the narcissist team. Maybe the narcissist was flirting with them or something. There's no telling. There's all kinds of confusion and drama going on when you're dealing with the narcissist. Okay, but what I wanted to say is, for those of you who are being smeared very harshly, and the narcissist is these are not little smears. I mean, they're big, and they're lying on you everywhere they go, and they're lying on you in court and all this. You have to understand that narcissists are pathological liars, so they will start to believe their own lies. And I was listening to Dr. Todd Grande, and he said they either believe, he was talking about pathological lying. He said they either start to believe their own lie, or they forget what the truth is. Because if you think about it, if you lie a lot, you can start to believe it. I asked my therapist, and she said, yeah, you absolutely can. So if you lie a lot, or a pathological liar lies a lot, then yeah, they start to believe it, because they're visualizing this thing they're saying that didn't actually happen. All right. And a lot of them are really delusional, and they make up things and they tell lies. Okay. So now they're going lying on you, and you're trying to do just like I did. I asked my therapist, I said, is there any way that he could honestly believe the things he's saying? And she was like, yes. So I thought that was strange, but it's really not that strange. And the smear campaign is typical for a narcissist. Now, to the degree that they smear you, lets you know how strong you are. So for those of you that are being smeared right now, and you believe it's very harsh and very malicious and it's very twisted, and you are being very traumatized, that means that you are a very strong person, because they wouldn't need to put in a lot of effort if you were a weak person, but they really need to cut you off and shut you down, and they really don't want anyone to believe you at all, so they need to come for you harshly. All right, and they don't need to come for you a little bit, they need to come for you a lot. Okay, to the degree that that they can try to warp your sense of thinking to think, well, man, I don't even know if I want to be here anymore, to where you're thinking suicidal thoughts and things, because that's how hard they can come for you with those smear campaigns. It's very serious. Okay, so I'm not making light of it at all. I'm far enough out of it now, though, that I can look back and tell you that if you get through that smear campaign, keep your head up, keep a smile on your face, keep it moving. Don't worry about what people think about you. Don't worry about it. You know your truth. Just stand in your truth. And what this does is, it'll irritate the narcissist that you didn't even try to clear your name. You didn't even try to clear your name, because when you go and you try to clear your name from the smear campaign, then they get to make up more lies about you, and they get to make it even worse, and then no one knows who to believe. But if you leave it alone, then you're out of it, which does not fuel the narcissist, which is what we want to do. We want to starve the narcissist. Okay, now here's the other thing that I think is real important to note. When narcissists discard you, or they do so much crazy making that you finally have to discard them, well, and then they smear your name. Well, they don't think too much about this, because as we know, narcissists will hoover you. They'll come back, and it could be years and years. I've been hoovered by a narcissist several years later. Hadn't talked to this person in many years, and they just pop back up. So it can happen years later. Just because you think that they're not contacting you does not mean that they're not keeping up with you through their friends or through their family or through someone you know who you're not even thinking about. But what this does is, if they smear you properly, and the reason I say properly is because this protects you. They smear you to a really, really drastic degree. Guess what? They can no longer do. They can no longer hoover you. They will never be able to come back, because they would need to come up with a story for how they came back to this person who they said did this extreme crazy thing, this extreme crazy thing, and this extreme crazy thing. Okay, all the list of crazy things they said you did, they can never come back, which actually protects you. So when you're getting smeared, and it's hard and it's difficult, and I know that it is, but walk in your truth. You have to not take the narcissist, take the things they do personal. Don't take it personal, because they are emotionless with and relentless with the things that they do. So don't take it personal. As soon as you know that that's what you're dealing with, then don't let your emotions get involved. Okay, I know that they're lying and they're saying all these things and they're smearing my name, and yes, this is hurtful, but wouldn't you expect a little crazy to do that? Wouldn't you expect someone who is not wrapped right to go and do and say things that are not right? I mean, let people find out on their own